It's a great question that I recently received, and let me put it out there up front here. I am by no means a lean expert. There are people out there doing a much better job at that. But nevertheless, I used an analogy to explain my thinking and what I do think is an important take-home message concerning the use of OEE. So before we jump to the analogy, let's just have a brief look at why do we use OEE and for that matter other KPIs. And the simple answer is that we use that because we want to improve something. We want to develop ourselves and we want to improve a process or some human behavior. So to do so, we need to analyze how is it going? Where are we right now? And for that, to answer that question, we need reliable data. So the task of looking into OEE and similar KPIs is simply to turn data into reliable information in order for us to change behavior. And that is, it's important to understand that the OEE comes out of the lean movement, so it can be traced all the way back to the Toyota production system and the ideas of continuous improvement. And this is where many people do somehow get it backwards, if you like, because there's so much talk about the absolute OEE value. What is my absolute OEE value? Well, that might make sense, but not necessarily. So the whole idea here is we should keep focus on the idea of using OEE for continuous improvement. And I used an analogy when I explained it, and let me just jump to that right away. So I said, what is my weight? Well, to figure that out, I need data. So let's go out and buy a scale here. I could buy one, and then my weight would be, let's say, 74.5 kilograms. Then I buy another scale, and it's 75.2 kilograms. And then I buy the third scale, and it's suddenly 74.0 kilograms. So what is the correct value? Well, nobody knows unless we buy something or we have access to something that is extremely well calibrated. But actually, that's not the point. It does not matter. And let me repeat that, it does not matter because the absolute value of my weight does not matter. What matters is I should just pick one of those and then throw away the rest and stick with that one, because the only thing I'm interested in is the relative change. So whether the starting point was 74.5 or 74.1, it does not matter. As long as I have a tool, the scale, one of the scales here, that I can use to relatively see how I'm improving on my weight. So that's why we do insist on that when you want to get started with OEE, we need to agree on the definitions. There are different ways of calculating OEE. There are different companies, in our experience, they include different things. So inside your organization, you have to agree on the definitions and pay less attention to whether you end up on what is the absolute value of OEE. Just agree on the definitions. And then, of course, step 2, you need to figure out what kind of data do you need, what do you want to calculate, and why do you want to calculate that, and also who is involved in the process, who are the stakeholders who do take some ownership to the entire progress. And then the take-home message here is, just like my weight and potential weight loss, it's about a continuous journey. It's a continuous improvement process where the absolute value we start with is less important, but what is more important is to follow on a daily basis or weekly basis or monthly basis, whatever makes sense in your context, the improvement. So if you start with an OEE of something, in my case my weight was 74.5 kilograms, and then you follow it week after week and you see that it goes in the right direction, well, congratulations. Then you are on the journey of continuous improvement.